What's going on, guys? It's Bad Dad from Huddle Hogs, and we are going to take a look at what's happening in the Bitcoin and total crypto space right now. So the chart that I'm going to pull up is the total chart. So here it is right now. And if you can see this total chart, we are currently retesting this white line, which is the bottom of this dip, and also the 786. Currently, we're actually underneath it. So hopefully this changes today. If not today, I'm going to be starting announcing some bearish targets. I'll probably bring a couple up here and discuss what they are. So right now the market, if you look at the stock traditional market, it's opening up here in the next 30 seconds or so. But currently pre-market things are in the red. So I'm going to expect this Dow Jones to gap down, and there it does. It gapped down today, currently in the red, but that is also expected because of what the US 500 was just doing recently. So we're going to see how this market acts today and what kind of impact it's going to have on the Bitcoin price. So still in the red. Things are not looking good, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, you had obviously the pretty overinflated market as it was. I mean, you look at that; it's already dropped down to 1.54. So people are selling off. I'm sure this is going to have a massive impact on this Bitcoin price as I'm sitting here talking about this, and this is not looking good for us. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Pull up the hourly. Oh, it's green. But we'll see what happens. In the total chart, I expect us, or we're going to need to really come off of this white line and push back up to the upside. Otherwise, there's really nothing here to look at as targets for people to buy back in, right? So when you're looking at, like, okay, why is this a key support for us, or what do we need to turn this around? Well, people are trading on these confluence lines, right? This dip, this 786. Well, what's left? Like when this is given up, where are they buying next? Is it the top of this range? I don't think so. It doesn't even line up with a fib line. It doesn't even come up on any sort of trend line, right? So the only trend line you can probably see is, well, there was a trend line that was running this way underneath all these wicks with the wedge that was created somewhere out over here. So there's nothing there that someone's going to be buying on wedges or on the trend line there. Fib from here to here was given up. So if we draw one from here to here, so we're going to say we're going to invalidate this top, and we're going to go back to just this period. There's a 786 there for the Bitcoin, so there's a target. And other than that, that's one target. Next one underneath is here, and then after that, you're going to have to start looking at larger time frames, which is, I'll pull it up right now. Seems like the internet's freezing up. All right, so larger time frames, we'll have to look at, well, the total market cap is going to have to come down to here. Bitcoin price, let's see, I think we already hit it. If I pull up the Bitcoin price, I believe it already came down to that spot. So let's see. Yeah, so Bitcoin price is down on it right now. Let's see if that holds or not. So if we're looking at the total chart, that's a target. Next target would be right here on the weekly. So we're looking at the weekly 200 week EMA. And then lastly, we're going to probably have to consider this range high or that bottom right there. So either that top or the bottom of that move right there. Let's go back to the day. Let's see what that is. Somewhere right in here, right? So that's for Bitcoin around $20,000. $20,000 per Bitcoin is the worst case. So those are targets that we're looking at for buying back in, right? So you got one, Bitcoin's already hit its target, that 786 line. So it's got a buy in here, and then you have the 20,000 range, which is down here. And then you have the weekly. Here's another target. And then lastly, the bottom RSI here is another target as well. So why are these targets? Well, those are what people are going to be looking at to buy back in. So that's where large influxes of buying power will be coming to be reintroduced into the market. As you can see, it's always happened. People have been buying up the bottoms of this RSI or these ranges. So you can see it on the hourly, you can see it on the daily, you can see it on most time frames. You can see that when people came in and they stepped in and bought up. And I don't know if they actually watch this and buy it here, or if a bot actually takes over and buys for them. But the last time that we hit the bottom of this RSI was back here in December of 2018. Like, that's a good bit of time a ways ago. And then there was another instance that we came close, was March 2020. So this right here is really showing and presenting itself as a massive buying opportunity when you're looking at Bitcoin. I'm not a Bitcoin. I don't believe in Bitcoin, so I wouldn't be buying up Bitcoin. But if people did believe in it, or people wanted to buy some, that's a buying opportunity right there. And it's presenting itself. So for the total crypto space, it's also coming back up. We almost we hit down here, almost hit here, and we're coming down to it right here as well. Let's see if it's actually underneath. Okay, so we're slightly above it, right? Above what happened in March 2020. So now, just real quick, let's take a look at the stocks again, see what's happening over here. It looks like we're starting to bounce back a little bit. There is some buying that's happening right now. So it's still early. We'll see what happens. It's probably just an initial scare off from the pre-markets. And I expect that if someone or if institutions were going to be buying up Bitcoin, this would be the time to be buying it up while it is real cheap and real, with very little, high fear, right? So a lot of retail is already out. They don't want to be in it. They've also been liquidated. So if they're going to send this in the other direction, and if the whales are going to send this in the other direction, this would be the time to be doing so. So let's see what happens. Now, some of these other coins that are on some real cheap discounts, we had Kin that just fell. I mean, it fell intensely, but that means that is some massive discounts that has come and presented itself. And it is getting very volatile down here. As you can see, we are having swings of approximately, let's see, there's a 30% swing right there. Let's see what this one is. And there's a 26% swing right there. Let's see what this one is. There's a 20% swing right there. So there's a lot of volume, a lot of volatility that is happening here. So at any moment, I expect this thing to just start taking off to the top side as soon as this market can recover. So Kin, while it is overall largely into the red, I expect this to recover at some point and recover with force. Let's not forget that back here sometime in end of 2017 to the start of 2018, from these lows, it didn't take Kin very long to reach that top. So if people are in doubt, like this will never recover, well, let's take a look. I mean, shoot, we're right here, right? Let's call this the bottom and see how long it took to get up to here. It took approximately 65 days. 65 days. And even if you were just to take this where right before it started making green candles, it took approximately 23 days for it to make its move from here to here. And those gains, so 23 days to gain 1,800, almost 2,000%. That's enormous. That's great. So can it happen again? Well, we're sitting down there at that bottom of that range again after it's been sitting here accumulating. A lot of individuals have noticed this move, have watched this move occur, and they've been buying it back up. There's a lot of this coin already has regulatory clarity. It's already been sued and settled with the SEC back in 2019, 2020 timeframe. So this coin has a lot of potential here, and just a matter of time. So we're still waiting on XRP to conduct to finish up their lawsuit with the SEC, which is looking and turning out pretty well. Some other coins are on discount here. Well, they're everywhere. I mean, they're practically everywhere. So, well, that's all pretty much I have. You have some bearish targets to look at. and kind of give you a quick brief of why those are targets and, you know, the opportunities that they present themselves. And we really need to hold this line here, the 786 line that was drawn from up here in that support line, for this thing to continue remaining in any kind of bullish stance. Otherwise, this is not looking too good. If we do lose this, this now becomes resistance. So anyone who buys here is just going to sell here, right? So there's no reason for them to. Now you get the bears looking to take profit, so they're going to buy here, they're going to sell here, and if it goes even higher, they're going to sell that trend line that was established right around here. So let's say they bought here, it goes up, there's going to be a sell here, there's going to be a sell here, and it's going to bring it back down. And they'll buy back up, and they'll sell it off again here, and they'll buy back up, and they'll sell it there, and they'll buy it, and they'll keep doing this until it falls out. And then it's going to hit that weekly target, the weekly 200 EMA. And the same thing is going to happen. Once it gets bought back up here, they're going to go ahead and they're going to sell here. That support now becomes resistance. And that's how you get that sell pressure. Now, I really think that once we hit this bottom RSI, though, this weekly RSI, if we hit that 30, if I was a, a bear, I would really reconsider at that point to start looking at holding my position than selling it. But you know, man, the sell pressure is all up here at this point, so it's really it's just going to keep. We're going to have a tough time getting out of here once we break this support. So it's really important that we hold that, and we still have a little bit of sliver of hope that it does continue back up to the top side. So we'll see what happens. As long as we don't go to war with Russia, you know, as it's been saying all over the news articles. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So anyways, I hope you all the best, and try to stay safe. Take care.